is Renee Esparza, Transfer Resources Director at ACC, and I'd like to welcome you to this episode of The Forum. The Forum is a roundtable talk show that gives us a space to discuss topics concerning ACC and our community with a group of various faculty, staff, and students. Today, we'll be discussing successful transfer planning. Let's meet our guests.
Hi, I'm Marisa Rodriguez Serrano. I am the Transfer Resources Coordinator for ACC. I have been with the district for about 12 years, working with transfer students in some capacity or other, from the front desk all the way to now coordinating programs.
Hi, I'm Mitchell Simmons. I'm a Senior AOS Advisor here at the Highland campus. And I've worked here at ACC for about 10 years, helping students reach their academic and career goals.
Hey, my name is Armando Sanchez. I recently just graduated from ACC with my associate's degree in general studies, and I'm now currently enrolled at Texas State.
Congratulations.
For the spring. Thank you.
Awesome. So we know that there are students and parents of students who may be watching that have questions about how ACC can help students on their way to earning a bachelor's degree. Today we're going to discuss some general transfer information, services and programs that ACC offers to support students' transfer goals, and what the actual transfer process is like. So I want to start today with a question for our panelists. So why do you think students whose goal it is to earn a bachelor's degree choose to attend a community college? Anyone can start.
Well, I would start off by saying cost. And unfortunately, that is the first thing that we think about when it comes to school. How much is it going to cost me to get that associate's degree or that bachelor's degree? So by starting off at ACC or community college, for that matter, will save you a substantial amount of money as you're working on those under-division courses. And so I would like to say that on average, about 80%, the tuition is about 80% less than state universities here in Texas.
So at ACC, our tuition is 80% cheaper than some of the four-year institutions across the state.
Yes.
That's mind-blowing.
It is. There's no reason why a student wouldn't want to come to ACC when you hear that number.
Well, you know, speaking of cost, a lot of students may think that location is a reason to come to ACC. You can still live at home if you're already in the area. We have so many different campuses, so it is convenient to a lot of people instead of having to move into a dorm or having to pay rent for an apartment. So again, cost and location go together.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you guys definitely took my ideas. But I also want to say, like, I was currently going to ACC and I had no idea what I wanted to do, and just like ACC helped me figure out what I want to do now. So like now I want to do political science and minoring in communications. But like beforehand, like I had no idea, I had no clue what was going on, what I wanted to do, what I want to study. But ACC really helped that. Like that experience, those 2 years just really made those 2 years easy as possible for me.
So it's a really good place to explore. Something that I'd like to add is our classes are small. So sometimes thinking about going to a really big university where there's thousands and thousands of students and you're in a class with 400 students, that can be intimidating. That can be really scary. I remember walking into my first class in an auditorium and it was like larger than my high school graduating class.
Jeez.
So that can be kind of scary. Anything else?
Well, having that one, like you said, like having that small class, you had that one-on-one experience with that professor. Because of my two professors, and the reason I'm going to political science is for my federal and local government professors, because they're the ones who help me engage in political science, to be engaged in politics, and also they're the ones who helped me get an internship at the House of Representatives in this past legislation, which I would never imagine myself doing. It was like amazing. Like always I walked in that Capitol, I was like, this is mind-blowing. This is amazing. Like it's really nerve-wracking because that's something I would never imagine myself doing.
And ACC helped you get there.
Yeah, and those having that one-on-one experience with those professors, having that talk with them, really helped me.
And it's a great stepping stone. It's a great stepping stone for students that maybe are unsure of what they want to study in college. Gives them the opportunity to explore and spend a little bit more time thinking about that. It's smaller class sizes, so it prepares the student to go into those larger classes when they do transfer to a university. One thing that I hear from a lot of my students who come into my office the first time that they're enrolling at ACC is they didn't do so well in high school. They really didn't care about school as much. They didn't care about their grades. And so they didn't have the grades to get into a university. And that's where ACC comes in. We are an opportunity. We are that next opportunity for you to start fresh, Figure out what it is that you want to do career-wise, and then make sure that you're taking the right classes to get there. And so it's one of the things that I appreciate most about community colleges like ACC.
Something else I'll throw in there is we have a lot of students who are non-traditional students. We have older students who work full-time. Our classes are offered at flexible times. We offer online programs. And so, this might, again, like you said, it's an opportunity. ACC provides an opportunity for a lot of students on their way.
Yeah, and it does, because being a Spanish student, it's just, I'm going in with no knowledge and have no idea what I'm doing. So I'm there, I'm like, okay, what now? But having that opportunity, having that staff, the resources, having to ask any question at all to them, being comfortable with them, like that really helped me again. Like that really made my experience so much easier, so much comfortable, just because I came in with no knowledge, and then 2 years later, I'm like, wow, this has to be 2 amazing years I had with ACC.
And I think ACC also has a really good record of having courses that are transferable to the public institutions in Texas. So I think a lot of students have heard this, and so they're like, hey, let's save the money, let's stay home, let's get on track, and we can move on to the university. So I think we've got a great reputation in that sense.
So just some data. So I'm going to talk a little bit about data, which I know some people might think is kind of nerdy, but it's really important to me. So those are all great reasons why students seek out a community college as their first stepping stone into higher education. 8.7 million undergraduate students were enrolled in college in 2016 to 2017. So number one, you're not alone, right? Nationally, 37% of students who are in higher education actually transfer at least once between institutions. In Texas, I think this is really telling about Texas students. 75% of students who've earned a bachelor's degree have attended a community college.
Wow.
That's a lot, right? That's 3/4 of the students who've earned a bachelor's degree in Texas attended a community college. I took some credits at a community college.
I also took credits. at
I
community
took
college.
credits as well.
And now you did too. Yeah, so you'll be another one of those students who earns their bachelor's degree having attended a community college. Some information about ACC. So I like to think that we are a great institution for transfer. I mean, not just because I work in transfer resources here at the college, but about 40% of the students who start at ACC in all of our programs, our adult ed, GED programs, our continuing education, about 40% of our students state that they want to transfer. And many of those students actually do end up transferring. We are the top sending institution to UT Austin, Texas State, and St. Edwards. We have students that transfer across the state and across the nation. So one of the most recent stats, and this may have been updated since then, but one of the most recent stats I heard is that our students are represented in 33 states across the nation.
We got a goal. We need those 50.
We got to hit those 50, so we're going to send some students to Alaska and Hawaii soon.
So close.
But are you seeing some more questions about out-of-state transfer?
I would definitely say that we have a lot of students reaching out for assistance in how do I transfer out of state. We've got the in-state down, but help me figure out what I need to do to go to California, or even a few international questions. So students are definitely looking beyond just the area.
Absolutely. I've seen a lot of students come in who are looking to go East Coast, go West Coast, and we have to worry about the transferability of courses when it comes to going to those out-of-state schools. So we want to make sure that we plan early so that way they can get to one of those other state schools.
And we have a lot of universities coming to our campuses wanting to recruit ACC students because they hear how great they are. We have international schools show up at our transfer fairs. We have universities from out of state come in. And I think something that we just learned at our last transfer fair is a university in Colorado said that we are the largest out-of-state institution that sends students to their campus.
Wow.
Yeah. So our students are exploring, they want to get there, the ACCs start here, get there. We're really trying to help our students get there. So we're going to take a short break. We'll be back with more information about how to seamlessly transfer from ACC to your chosen transfer destination.
Focus on what you really need.
Free time, work time, and study time.
New studying advice and tips.
Productivity in general.
Get more confidence about the test.
Honing in on what I really wanted to do.
Achieve your potential and do everything you'd like to do here.
Academic coaching is about making a solid one-on-one connection with students. We want to figure out where students are, what their goals are, and how we can come up with a plan to get there. Whether it's time management, note-taking, study skills, test prep, we really want to help students to have better grades and do it with less stress.
The thing that really surprised me most was how simple it can actually be. It's really just changing your mindset of looking at your problems and how to study and how to be efficient with your time.
It was really nice to have someone who was just so focused on helping me become better in my endeavors.
One of the most rewarding parts for me about being an academic coach is seeing that light bulb moment with students. It's amazing to see somebody achieve their goals and know that we get to play a part in that.
Academic coaching is currently available at the Highland, Riverside, Round Rock, and San Gabriel campuses. For more information, check out our website. You can see the coaches available at each campus as well as make an appointment. Don't see your preferred ACC campus listed? Look for our district-wide visits calendar to see when we'll be at a campus near you. We're here to help you get better grades with less stress. So take advantage of this free resource available to guide you through your goals. Check out our website for more information or send an email to academiccoaches@austincc.edu.
Welcome back to the forum where we are discussing successful transfer planning. We started out this discussion talking about why transfer is important and sharing information on how common transfer between institutions is in higher education. So one of the most important services that can help students seamlessly transfer to a four-year institution is something that ACC offers for free to all of our students, and that's academic advising. So Mitchell, I want to start by asking you, how can academic advisors help students plan their transfer?
Absolutely, Renee. We want students to come in and meet with us in the advising office before they register for classes their first semester here at ACC. The reason why, we want to ask them, what are your career goals? What is your goal after ACC? If the answer to any of those questions include a bachelor's degree, we want to know that up front. We want to make sure that students are on what we consider a transferable degree plan, whether it's an Associates of Arts, an Associates of Science, or an Associates of Arts in Teaching, because we can then guarantee that all of those courses on those degree plans can transfer to a state school here in Texas. Not only that, but a lot of universities have given us what are called transfer guides. Yeah. They tell us exactly what courses they recommend you take while you're a student here at ACC. And now most of the time, those courses will align with our degree plans here at ACC, but there are some instances where a student may need to take a course that's not on that degree plan as a prerequisite to get into a particular program. So we want to be able to outline all of that from day one, so that way a student is not wasting any time taking courses that cannot be either one, applied towards their degree plan, or two, cannot be transferable to the university that they want to attend. And so we, again, recommend students come in the first day and then maybe follow up 2 or 3 times throughout the semester with us.
So you mentioned the transferability of the courses and using the transfer guides. What about the applicability in regards to the major and the university?
Yeah, absolutely. So we can guarantee that if they are following these transfer guides, that those courses can be applied towards those bachelor's degrees, meaning that, let's say a student completes their associate's degree here at ACC, an Associates of Science. All 60 of those credit hours can be used for their bachelor's degree, meaning that they may only have an additional 60 credit hours to complete at the university, which is great because it goes back to why did we choose ACC to begin with? To save money and to kind of figure out what we want to study. So yes, it can be applied towards any of those bachelor's programs at four-year universities.
So one of the things that we really stress with students is when they're talking with their advisors, and if they're talking about a specific course, that they don't ask, will this class transfer, but will this class apply to the degree in the major at the university that I am planning to attend? Because we'll see with some of the common or frequent transfer institutions that we work with that one institution might need a certain math and another one might need a different one. So we want to make sure that the students are taking the right classes, and that's where our academic advisors and the transfer guides come in.
Yeah, and that's a great example. I'm the science and engineering math advisor at the Highland campus, so I work with students that are needing several math courses or a sequence of math courses. And so knowing which university they're going to apply to, that will dictate which math pathway we need to be on. We don't want to see a student come in after semester 3 and have been on the wrong math track, because that will set them back in reaching their transfer goal. And so again, those transfer guides are very crucial in viewing on day one. Not only that, but then the transfer guides can provide so much useful information, such as what are the minimum credit hours to even apply to that university? What is the minimum GPA to get into that program? What are the priority deadlines? I would say it is one of our most valuable resources that we provide to students on our website that students can go and view anytime to help them plan their transfer.
So Armando, you mentioned you worked with an advisor and you started at ACC without knowing what you wanted to do. So how did your advisor help you navigate making that decision?
Well, like, she really helped me just because when I first went to her, like, I didn't know what kind of questions I want to ask her, because I feel like for me, there's a part of me saying, you want to ask this question, don't ask this question, because this is dumb questions. But
no such thing as a dumb question with their advisors. Yeah, we ask everything.
Exactly. That's where I started learning. She told me that. I was like, hey, I can tell that you had something else in your mind. Tell me all about it. Like, just lay it all out. And that's what made my degree plan, what made the transfer process easier, just because I let out what I was thinking. I had everything on my mind, and she tried to understand me, and then she started thinking like, oh, okay, you want to do this and do that. I changed my degree. I was doing automotive technician at first year, but in the later I was like, nah, I want to do that more as a hobby, so I ended up changing it to political science. But I ended up doing general studies because that transferring to Texas State, that just kills the half of the process, which he spoke about, like doing the 60-hour credits. I only had to do the other 60 at the university, which that's the case for me. Perfect. Now, I was seeing, when I went to go see my advisor over there, he's like, wow, you killed all that whole process.
Awesome.
You see all those green check marks, you're like, oh wow, that makes me feel proud of myself. Now you only have to focus on is your major and minor classes, which is great, because now I'm starting out just doing my major and minor classes, because that was my goal, just to start doing those classes once I do transfer over to 4-year tuition, which that made the whole process easier for me. And really, it was just stress reliever, because through my 2 years, I was like, I got so many questions, but I always went to her, like, see maybe like 5 to 10 times, like per semester, seeing her, like asking all those questions, like, hey, I had this question, or if this transfer or this goes with the degree plan, like any question, like I always, like if I had any questions or any comments or anything at all, I would go to her, and she made those 2 years for me the easiest as possible for me.
See, and Armando, what you did, that was awesome. A lot of students don't disclose everything that they're kind of thinking in regards to their classes and to the universities where they're intending to go. And so our advisors are great, but they're not mind readers. So students really have to, from the very beginning, be having these discussions. This is what I'm thinking, this is what I want to do. Maybe the advisor sends them home with some homework to do some further investigation. But if you don't talk to the advisor, if you don't let them know, you're not going to get all the help that you could have gotten. So that's awesome that you were able to really connect with your advisor in that way.
Well, like, thank you. But again, it goes for me, like me being, again, like echoing back what I said, being Hispano, like I talk to many like Hispanic students, and I'm also a DACA recipient. So those who are DACA recipient as well are nervous to speak up, are like shy to ask those questions, because they don't want to see dumb. They don't want to seem like they just do not know anything. And that's just, I understand that, like I was in their position, but now I'm like 2 years later, I'm like, I wish I could have done this in this first year, maybe the first semester or the second semester. Like I wish I could have done this, but now I'm like, you learn from your mistakes. That's the whole point of me, like how I see life. It's just you learn from what you've done. And now I'm like, I'm telling all the Hispanic students, all like the DACA recipients, most of the DACA recipients, because they are afraid to ask those questions. They're just afraid to see dumb in front of their advisor, or how they want to see it. So.
And I think that is for a lot of our students. They feel either intimidated going to speak with an advisor or afraid. So personal experience is I was terrified to meet with my academic advisor in college because I'd gotten a bad grade and I thought they would be like, that GPA, you know, give me like, make me feel, you know, ashamed. I also had decided at some point to change my major, and I didn't know what to ask or what to tell someone, like, hey, I need to change my major. But our advisors are nice.
Yes.
Very nice.
Mitchell's very
Thank
nice.
you, Renee.
They're welcoming. You know, they get extensive training in how to best work with students, and you can really develop a great, strong relationship with your advisor. Who was your advisor, by the way?
It was Margie.
Margie at South Austin campus? Yeah,
Yes.
we'll give her a shout out because Margie's wonderful. Yeah.
She's still amazing. I can't be like, I want to thank her for everything. I wish I can like pay her back for all like she's done. But
I think hearing the story, she'll enjoy hearing that. Yeah.
Armando, can I ask you, how many times on average would you go in and meet with Margie throughout the semester?
I want to say, I don't want to
lay it on me.
I don't want to put like a high number, but I want to say like maybe minimum 5 to 10.
Wow.
Just because like I had again like me being at like a first semester, I was like, okay, yeah, I don't want to go see her, and then I just started feeling more comfortable with the campus, more comfortable with like the community. I was like, okay, I can start asking more questions. That's what I did. I always ask questions. I was like, hey, when you're available, I want to go talk to you. Anything I had was like anything popped in my head, I would go to see Margie, and she'd be like, oh, yeah, just come see me today, and she made it work. She gave me the feedback I wanted to hear, or she got me where I needed to go, and that's just, again, I wish I could thank her for all this stuff. She's definitely.
That's great, and because you were able to go in there so many times per semester, you were able to become comfortable and have those crucial conversations with your advisor, and that's one of the things that our advisors here at ACC want our students to understand. We may not solve all the world's problems in one sitting. We may not know exactly what you're going to be doing for the rest of your life in one sitting, but by you coming in on a regular basis, advisors giving you some homework, unfortunately, to come back and discuss will really help you make some decisions and build that rapport and trust with your advisor. One of the things that is crucial that I kind of want to touch on are grades.
Yes.
One of the things that we work on with students is being successful in their courses. And when you're wanting to transfer to a university, grades are everything. It's not only did you take the right classes, were you successful in those courses? And so that's where advising comes in. If you ever feel like you're not being successful or in your courses, or you're not getting the grades that you deserve or that you think you should be making, we want you to come in for advising so we can figure out what resources would best help you in being successful, whether it's our learning lab where our tutors are located, whether it's our academic coaches, our completion counselors. We have so many different resources, but the only way that we can direct you to those resources is by you coming in and letting us know. So you have to build that rapport, and don't be shy. You know, come in, talk to us, because your goals are our goals.
I do like the relationship we have with me and Margie, because instead of like at first being like, oh, this has to be formal, this has to make sure I'm like, oh, professional. No, later within a feel like a few trips seeing her, it just seemed like, oh, I can just come down, sit down, relax. Oh, hey, Margie, how's it going? Like, if we can talk about how our day is going.
Have some coffee.
Yeah, let's sit down and have a drink. Like, it's a great time, because every time I see her, it doesn't seem like, of course, I want to say like professional or anything like formal. It's just like, it's like more of a friend. Like, that's a casual friend. It's like, hey, how are you doing? Like, we can talk about how we're doing, and eventually I started asking those questions, like, oh, hey. But it just really feels comfortable. It's a great environment when I go see Margie, because it just feels, again, just open, you're friendly. It's like, I just love the environment. I can't really put it into words, but it's really, I love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So really just highlighting the importance of academic advising in planning your transfer and not being afraid to go in, ask the questions, ask for help if you need help with anything. So please utilize our academic advisors. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to talk about some of the transfer services that ACC offers to help you prepare for transfer.
Hi, I'm Tung. And I'm Ross. We're your College Destination Center team. We're here to help you enroll and become an ACC student.
Before we get started, let's talk about the college. ACC's academic programs are divided into 10 areas of study. These 10 areas provide easy-to-follow paths to meet your academic and career goals. They're grouped together by similar careers. For example, the health sciences area of study includes nursing, sonography, and dental hygiene. Public and social services includes criminal justice, firefighting, and social work. You'll need to pick one of these 10 areas before you fill out the application. You can learn more and explore areas of study on our website. Visit austincc.edu/areas. If you already know what you want to study, you can include the name of the program and the award on your application. It's okay if you're not sure. Choose the area that interests you the most and let us help you explore careers and majors. If you change your mind later, you can change your major.
Now you're ready to start the application. Visit austincc.edu/apply. We posted a checklist you can download or drop by our office for a copy. To start an application, you'll need to create an account. It lets you log in later to submit important documents, including your school transcripts and test scores. The sooner you complete admission requirements, the sooner you can register for classes. Once you submit the application, we'll get in contact to guide you through the next steps.
If you're a student entering ACC with fewer than 12 credits, we'll help you sign up for an area of study information session. This additional step combines your advising session with a chance to meet other students, advisors, and faculty from your area of study. You'll learn more about the degrees, certificates, and career opportunities in that area. By the time you're done, you'll have the information you need and access to resources to help you reach your goals.
Our goal is to make sure you have the support you need through this process. If you ever have any questions, you can always give us a call. And remember, we'll be in touch through each step. Welcome to ACC.
Welcome back to the forum, where today's topic is planning for your transfer to a four-year institution. We wanted to shift the focus to events and programs that ACC offers to help you navigate the transfer process. Marisa, do you want to get us started by talking about a program that you run, the Transfer Academy?
So the Transfer Academy is near and dear to my heart. It's been around for about 10 years, homegrown right here at ACC. So it basically is a program that's designed to help students have a seamless, efficient transfer. So we want to make sure that you're understanding the process and that you're getting connected with the right folks. So our first session is called Transfer Essentials. So Transfer Essentials, it is the fundamentals, the basics of transfer. So we're literally getting down to what is transfer all the way through what do I do now that I've been accepted. So that session is held in the fall and the spring semesters, and we rotate them throughout the campuses. By participating in our Transfer Essentials session, you do get this handy-dandy Transfer Essentials handbook or guide. It is a really great book, and you can only get it by attending in person. So it's one of our best pieces, and students really love it. It has a lot of great resources and a lot of great information in there. We also have the second part to the Transfer Academy, which is called Getting Interactive. It is what it says, Getting Interactive. So it's a panel-style discussion with area universities. About 5 to 8 different universities usually attend. We rotate what campuses those happen at. The other great thing, really the greatest thing about the Getting Interactive, it is intended to be small and intimate. So it's not hundreds of people at one event. It is a Q&A of the panel, so students get the opportunity to ask questions, maybe questions that the advisors haven't been able to answer or that you can't find online. And at the very end, you are allowed the opportunity to go up and ask questions. Maybe you have personal questions that you didn't want to ask as a group, to go up, talk to the universities, get cards, all that kind of great stuff. I would say it's not a transfer fair. Sometimes people confuse it with a transfer fair. It's definitely a panel discussion. It's intended to be small, and it's an opportunity to compare a lot of universities in one place, so you're saving gas. And so we do try to vary the times and hours that we offer those events.
So Mitchell, I know you just hosted you were our host and our moderator for our last semester's Getting Interactive session. What do you think of that session?
I love it. I wish I would have had that opportunity in high school, to have all the universities lined up answering the same question. For instance, what is the minimum GPA to get into your school? And every university will go down, and it's a good way for you to compare and contrast. You know, oh, I didn't realize that that school's GPA was the minimum requirement was so high. What is you can kind of get a lot of information by comparing them. So I love it. It gets the students engaged, so they don't feel like they're going up to a recruiter or the university and having just like a one-on-one conversation. It's a group conversation.
We talk a lot, we talked earlier about how sometimes our students feel intimidated going to speak with somebody. And I think being in that environment, the person next to you might ask the question that you've been dying to ask,
Yes.
but you're too afraid.
That's right.
But you mentioned this is an opportunity for our students to research institutions and compare. We have a lot of students here at ACC who come in with one institution in mind. I am going to one school, and this is where I grew up wearing a certain color and watching certain football games. And then somewhere along the line, they might find out something about that institution that makes it not the right choice for them. For example, that school might not offer the major that the student's interested in.
That happens a lot.
So, they're faced with this question of, oh no, all of my plans have now changed, what do I do? So getting interactive is an opportunity for them to do some really quick research in person and get those answers.
We've got a lot of students as well, when you're talking about research, through our Transfer Essentials session, we are definitely looking at helping you figure out what is that right institution. A lot of times in our head, things check all the boxes, but there may need to be more information involved in it, like going on a tour.
Yeah.
So we also offer university tours. In the past, we've gone to schools like UT, Texas State, Concordia, St. Edwards, UTSA, Texas Lutheran, just to name a few. We like to pair a large school with a smaller school just to get some variety, so you know what is out there and kind of the different feel.
So you do those on the same day?
We like to pair the large and the small on the same day, same trip. It's a full day commitment, but you're there with other like-minded students. So again, taking away that intimidation factor, you get to hear about their admissions process, an information session, tour. In some cases, we even get to go into the classrooms and have a mock class, so kind of experience what you're going to be seeing at that school. But the intimidation is not there because there's other students that have the same questions that are interested. You have staff from ACC with you, so if you're still kind of lost and you want us to ask something, we're there. It's all free of cost, so I mean, can't be any better than that. We pick you up at one of our campuses and we go on out and we have a good time. So I think the tours are a great opportunity for students.
They are. I can't tell you how many students I've had come in my office after they went to tour a university and came back and said, that school isn't for me. It just wasn't a good fit. I need to continue my research.
Armando, did you visit any schools before you decided to apply to Texas State?
Yes, I did. I ended up going to UT and Texas State, those two. But I ended up learning, of course, UT that's not the best option for me because there's just a lot. I was like, oh, it kind of disappointed me just because I didn't know they had all this and this and that. So like what you said, it kind of changes the plan. Mm-hmm. But when I went to Texas State, it's just they had a great program when it comes to political science. They had so much to offer, and for me, hearing how much they had to offer, it was not wondering. If they had so much to offer, and I just want to study it all, but unfortunately, I had to only choose one. But
we've had tours where a student will go, and they'll say this is the campus that felt like home. Okay. We want our students to explore that because if you transfer to a place you've never visited and then realize this does not feel like home, I'm not happy here, I'm sad, your grades are going to suffer. You may not be as successful. So offering our university tours and participating in our university tours is a really good opportunity for you to get that fit going.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing that I'd like to add with whether it's the Transfer Essentials or the Getting Interactive or the tours, we're a community college. We have a large population of non-traditional students. We have students that might be caring for a family. They might be enrolling as a part-time student or working full-time. So they're not taking classes on a full-time schedule. We have students that maybe need childcare assistance. These are all the resources, which is why I love working at ACC, but we need to verify, will this work at the university? Will I be able to attend part-time, or will I have to go as a full-time student? Do you provide childcare assistance? What kinds of financial aid is available? Those are really important facts that students need to know up front. And so with all three of those resources that we provide through the Transfer Academy, you can get everything lined up for a successful transfer.
And so you just mentioned our students have differing schedules. So there's other opportunities that universities come on campus. Every fall we hold a very large transfer fair, usually at the Highland campus.
Love that.
This year we had, I think, about 80 institutions come from across the nation, most of them from Texas. But those questions that you mentioned, those are the questions you should be asking those university representatives. I mean, straight up first question, can I attend part-time? Do you have evening classes? Can I attend on the weekend?
Yes, yeah.
Do you have my major?
Those are questions that students forget to ask.
Yeah. Or they assume.
Exactly. They assume, and then they get there and they, oh, wait, what? No, this isn't going to work for my work schedule.
And we want to prevent that from happening.
Yes.
Yeah, we want our students to be very prepared on the front end, so when they get to where they're going, they are successful.
That's right.
Universities don't just come during scheduled events. Year-round, we have something called university recruitment visits, where our university representatives set up a table at a campus. They visit all the campuses. I think it was close to about 1,000 hours last year, where universities were on one of our campuses. And something that I would really encourage is that students actually talk to them. Go up to the recruiter at the table, because sometimes they're bored, and just welcome to ACC, or ask, what kind of scholarships do you have? Do you have my major? All of these questions that we've talked about today and that are in our Transfer Essentials Guide are helpful in helping a student plan.
It is interesting how many times students come into an office and they say, oh, I have this question about this university, and we have an events calendar where students can see when these universities are going to be on campus or when these different events are going to happen. So you can, as an advisor or as a staff member, we can go in there, and as a student, you can look at the events calendar. Oh, Texas State will be here on such and such day. I don't quite know that answer maybe, but how about you go out and reach out to them while they're here on campus? You're not even having to go anywhere. And sometimes students just walk right by them. Yeah. It's a one-on-one opportunity almost to get their attention and to have a bigger discussion. So definitely utilizing our transfer events calendar to find out when all of these things are taking place, which is austincc.edu/transfer events. That's a great place to find out when all of these things are taking place.
And you might even score some swag while you go up to that table. I'm just saying. I mean,
yeah, that's true. Everybody, who doesn't like it?
Who doesn't love a pencil?
So something that we do every spring is our annual Transfer Week event. And have you all participated in any of the Transfer Week events? We work here. So during Transfer Week, it's kind of a focused week full of transfer events. And events that we've had in the past have been Aggie Day at ACC, a Texas Tech takeover, the UT Advising Marketplace. We do small transfer fairs, and we try and spread these out across the district so that students who do maybe have some transportation issues are able to get those services. Again, that information can be found on the website that Marisa mentioned. But really, year-round, we have events to help students connect with universities.
What I like about those events in particular, when you do invite one university here, they bring representatives from each college within the university. So not only are you going to be able to talk to a representative who can talk about the admissions process for the university, they can also talk to you about specialized admissions into particular schools, whether it's engineering, whether it's the business school, and you can talk to them about the details of those particular programs, which I love.
Yeah.
Love that.
So one other thing that I want to mention that we talked about earlier was we talked about transfer plans and certain transfer degree plans. Something I don't want us to not talk about today is that a lot of our students in our AAS programs are also now able to transfer because four-year institutions are offering degrees that accept our Associate of Applied Science degrees. You can learn about these events when the universities come to the campuses. So are there any other events that you all would recommend that students take part in while they're here at ACC?
Gosh, I think we covered.
Did we cover
everything? But take part in all of it is what I would like to say. Is, you know, some of it may seem like there may be some overlap, but each event has different information, different people attending. You may go to a transfer fair and the line may be 2 hours long to see whoever it is you want to see. Come to one of our Getting Interactive sessions, and maybe it's a little smaller, maybe you'll have a better opportunity. Maybe you think you know everything about the basics of transfer and what you need to be doing while you're here at ACC. But there may be information that you really don't know, and maybe your friends and your family are doing their best to help you through the process, but you don't know what you don't know until you come and attend one of our events and get really great information.
Because at the end of the day, it's all about making those connections.
Yes.
Knowing where those resources are, knowing who to contact at Texas State, knowing our transfer specialists and career specialists and our advisors. Get to know them. They want to know you. So build those connections so that way you always have a point of contact.
I think that's great advice. So on that note, we're going to take another break, but we'll be right back.
Solving problems is something I've always enjoyed doing. I see things that need to be fixed and I want to fix them. So that's why I want to be an engineer.
I've always been attracted to technology and engineers. In a lot of stories, especially modern stories, they're the heroes who help people and solve problems, and that's what I want to do.
A&M is a pretty prestigious institution, so being able to go to that school and still stay here at home in Austin is a good deal.
The Texas A&M Engineering ACC Academy is a co-enrollment program. It's a one-of-its-kind program. It allows the students to start at the two-year institution and be co-enrolled and take their engineering courses at the exact same time.
This program is a really good way to get into A&M, be an Aggie, while saving money at the same time.
Going to A&M, it's about $15,000 per semester, and the cost is about $3,000 to $4,000 a semester for me to stay here. So it's about a third.
It's a smaller class size. It's really like a training ground. You learn what the academic life is going to be like, and then you can step out into the bigger picture.
Texas A&M is internationally known for its engineering programs, and they have, I think, 22 different majors, many of which are top-rated year after year. They're also a very exclusive institution. This year, they had over 49,000 freshman applicants. From those 49,000, they selected and enrolled less than 4,000. So they let in about 8% of the very talented students that applied there. Compare that to our program here. So over 70% of the students that we pre-qualify are accepted and enrolled in the academy.
The data shows that students on average that are in the academy and transition to College Station to finish their engineering degree actually have a higher GPA than those that start at College Station from semester one.
For the engineering academies at ACC specifically, Dr. Shana Shaw is a professor of practice. We brought her in. She'd been in the industry for quite a while. So providing that insight to the students actually encourages them to continue. They know what to expect, not just academically, but how it actually works in the field.
They're really good about campus engagement. There's been a lot of trips out to College Station.
I feel like I'm both an Aggie and a Riverbed.
ACC is helping me now by giving me the college experience on a small scale so that I'll be prepared for it on the larger scale.
It's a great way to earn an engineering degree at A&M. Again, one of the best in the world right now. Everybody that applies, if you're about there for math and you have the drive and the desire to work hard and have fun along the way, then you are more than ready to start this program. So go for it.
Welcome back to the forum, where we're discussing transferring from ACC to a four-year institution. So far, we've talked a little bit about how academic advising can help and what transfer events are offered at ACC that students should participate in. once a student has selected the institution in which they want to apply, it's time to fill out the application. So Armando, would you be willing to share how it was applying to Texas State?
No, it was nerve-wracking first.
Okay.
It was definitely nerve-wracking just because again, not knowing what to do or what's the next steps I should be taking. But seeing a specialist really helped. She made that process so much easier because all the questions I had, like, again, this is part of me. When I first talking to her, I was like, I don't want to ask you all the questions. And then eventually she's like, oh, it's totally fine. There's no such thing as dumb question. And that's when I let everything out, told her all the questions, everything's in my head. And she just made that experience so much easier. And meaning that, like, I finished the whole application before the deadline even approached, and finishing up financial aid and all that in time. So that process for me, that transferring to Texas State, was so much easier and so much stress reliever, just because I didn't have to worry that much. I was over here worrying, like, I'm gonna stress out this, no, the deadline, this and that. No, it wasn't like that at all. It was so much easier, and then I can actually, like, that was literally in the middle of the semester, so I was like, I can actually focus on my classes without worrying about getting that whole transfer process out of the way, and it just made it so much easier.
And so you mentioned you met with a specialist, and you're referring to one of our career and transfer specialists that are at the college, is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so our career and transfer specialists are individuals who are trained specifically in assisting our students with career exploration, career planning, transfer research, and transfer planning. And so their role is to help students navigate that transfer process. So it may come time when a student is writing their essay, and we know that essays are extremely important. And the specialist might be able to sit and meet with them.
That's right, Renee. The essays are a good way for you to fill in any kind of gaps for your application. It is the way to speak directly to that admissions counselor, that admissions specialist at that university as to why you would be a good fit for that school. And you need to start working on that essay early, because that essay can be very powerful and can make or break your application if you are right there on the edge of getting in. And so the specialists are there to help with your essays. They can help you look at the topics that are required for that university, narrow it down, and see which one would be the best one for you to answer. What kind of story do you have to tell in that essay? So we want to make sure that we don't wait until 2 weeks before the deadline to do that. We don't want students to be stressed out by this essay. And the only way to ensure that is getting started on that early and coming in and meeting with one of our career transfer specialists.
And the essay is also helpful when students are applying for scholarships. And what's really important is that our students look for transfer scholarships. I think something to note is that a lot of transfer scholarships are tied to a priority deadline. And so students might get confused when they're looking at a university's website because they see a final deadline and a priority deadline. We really want to encourage students to apply as early as possible.
There's a lot of reasons to apply early. I mean, once you have been accepted to the university, you're going to need to attend an orientation. You're going to need to be advised. You're going to want to be able to register for courses as soon as possible. So a lot of schools, as you might know, it's kind of like when you first started at ACC, you're kind of at the bottom of the totem pole, but the sooner you get that process done, the sooner you're going to be able to get a good schedule and not have to be waking up at 7 in the morning for a class at 7:15.
Unless you want to.
Yeah, I mean, I guess some people like morning classes. But it's definitely important to pay attention to those deadlines. Deadlines are deadlines are deadlines. The universities usually have them well in advance. So you want to be careful, because if your computer crashes the night before the deadline happens, the university is not going to be able to make an exception for you. So I'm glad that you were able to, do it so far in advance that you got to relax through your semester, and that's what we really want students to do. With the essays, a lot of times students do wait till the very end, and it is you want multiple people reviewing that essay. So the sooner that you start working on those essays as well, the better it is for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, yeah, definitely. When you mentioned the classes, that's definitely why I started that, because I don't want to be taking the late afternoon classes or the evening ones. So like when I was in that process, when I was already accepted and getting my schedule already started on, getting built on, it was sort of like a stress, because there's There's so many classes, and either they just overlaid each other, or I had to I want to take 5 classes, which I am now, but it was just hard to find a schedule because I tried to apply as much early as possible, but unfortunately you kind of get the leftovers.
Yeah.
And how do you ensure that you apply early? You get organized.
Yes.
Create a calendar. Put those deadlines on the calendar. When is the priority deadline? When is the final deadline? When are the scholarship deadlines? Just put those down so you can set reminders. You can have reminders sent to your smartphone. Hey, you got a deadline coming up next month. Where are you at on your essay? Where are you at on the application? If you can put all of that down on a calendar, very first semester, then you know it's on there and you have something, a timeline to plan.
Another useful tool with deadlines is we do have posters around campus in the advisor's office as well that have, I would say probably about 10 different universities' deadlines. So it's kind of a starting point or maybe it'll give you a reminder, hey, that deadline is coming up, so let's not wait.
So our career and transfer specialists are available in every region at ACC, and one great thing about them is they're mobile. So if you're at the Elgin campus and you can't make it to any other campus, our career and transfer specialists will get to that campus to meet with you. I'll share more information about our website at the end, but you can make an appointment online. They'll contact you, ask you what you need help with, and then, like your experience, Armando, they'll walk you through the process. They'll help with the essays, the resume, the Apply Texas application, and then one thing they really love to hear is the success story.
Oh,
They
yeah.
want to hear from you once you've been accepted to that institution, because we love to celebrate our students' successes. So as we wrap things up today, I want to give each of our panelists an opportunity to share the one piece of advice that you could give to students to help them best plan their transfer. And any of y'all can start.
I would like to go ahead and start. Some quick advice I would give is use the resources around ACC. That's definitely the biggest one. Start working on things ahead of time, even if it's way months and ahead. That's totally fine because you see the deadlines, you already set everything out. Again, that timeline that really helps a lot because now you're okay, here's classes I have to start, but I should start working on this because the essays deadlines are approaching, or the deadline for applying for this university is approaching. So that really helps. And of course, just don't be afraid to ask those questions. That's one of the biggest one. Just definitely, because a lot of students have a hard time just speaking to advisors or anyone really, and go later asking to your friends I could have wished I asked that. Why didn't you? Go ahead and ask that question. There's no such thing as a dumb question.
Yep.
That's right. That's right. Do not be shy.
Yes.
Do not be shy. Ask for help. And this, I would say, this goes for even if you're not transferring anything in college. Always ask for help. That's what education is about. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
We're here to learn. So do not be shy in asking questions, no matter what you think of that question. Just go in, build that rapport, and I guarantee you will get the assistance, the resources that you need to reach that goal.
Well, you both kind of touched on what I was going to say. But yes, communicating as soon as possible, anything that you're thinking, whether it's with our advisors here, whether it's the admissions counselors at the universities, which hopefully you get connected to, just communicating what you're thinking, what is happening in your process, and where you're at. Again, we have great people on our teams, but nobody is a mind reader, so you have to let us know what your plans are.
Exactly, communication.
Yeah, communicate. So my piece of advice, and I probably stress this so much, and we've talked a lot about it today, is to start early. So if you're coming to ACC and you know that you want to transfer, start having those conversations your first semester. Talk to faculty, talk to friends, if you're in a program, talk to the program coordinators. Talk to anybody you can, because we are here to help, and we want to make sure that you're successful. Thank you so much for watching this episode of The Forum. We hope you learned some helpful information that you can use when planning your path to a bachelor's degree. I want to thank our guests for being here today and sharing their knowledge and experiences. austincc.edu/transfer is a great place to find resources to help you as you navigate the transfer process and find details on upcoming transfer events on ACC campuses, including our annual Transfer Week event. My name is Renee Esparza, Transfer Resources Director at ACC. Please stay tuned for the next episode of the forum, only on ACC TV.